All right, everyone, here we go. It's an all signs reading. Doesn't matter what your sign is. It's straight up energy reading. It's the full moon in Libra. So what is this about? I mean, well, it's about fairness, really. Fairness. That's the word. That's the key word here. You're going to see it all over the place in your horoscopes everywhere. Fairness. It's got a twinge of revenge to it, though. I'm going to tell everybody, justice is, with this particular, the way the energies are around everything, and the way things are right now in general with some astrological events that have just happened and all this kind of stuff that's been going on and the surrounding energies, that fairness and compromise and justice, it's all relative, that kind of a thing. So keep that in mind. It's relative to how somebody perceives themselves, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it. In other words, justice for a person who perceives himself as large but has been made to look small is a lot different. It's a lot more vengeful than justice for somebody who, really wasn't harmed that much or came out looking better. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bit of that. Let's cut the deck. Let's just get a theme energy. I mean, yeah, it's fair. It's fair and compromise. Somebody probably, whoa, hey, look at that. Somebody probably wants, I was going to say, I'll stop there. That's an 8 of Cups reversed. You know what that means, right? Somebody who walked away is coming back. And as I'm talking, it slipped right out. There it is. I fucked up a cut card. Yeah, you probably got somebody reaching out. You probably got somebody that wants to talk to you. Okay? It's probably somebody that's been keeping their distance, right? It is what it is. Bottom of the deck, the Page of Cups. I mean, look, let's stick with the fairness and compromise. The revenge, the thin band of revenge that runs through this in some way, it'll reveal itself. The main energy is compromise and fairness. And I see it here. This is beautiful pastel energy. It's nice. I don't even want to look under it. Right? But it's 6 of Cups. Somebody returning. It says the same thing. All right? So you got a repeat message here, and you saw it right before your eyes, right? I cut the card. I fucked up. Oh, Steve, you clumsy bastard. It's the 8 of Cups reversed. So again, and that's set on top of a 7 of Wands, somebody who's been keeping their distance. The 8 of Cups reversed is somebody who walked away coming back. Yeah, I think you've got somebody coming back. They're willing to compromise with you. The energy feels very fair to me. You certainly feel very fair and are ready to compromise. It's just the incoming energy on the DM side. It feels like they're willing to compromise, but there's a thin band of get even or revenge in there. I don't know what it's about. I don't know. Maybe it's a beautiful apology. You guys apologize to each other. Everything is great, and then they slip in the end. It's too bad you're ugly, though. I mean, like that. Say something under their breath. You're like, what did you say? Oh, nothing. It's nothing. Right? Yeah. Okay. I was just kidding. Right? That kind of a thing, and that came up in a recent extended. I remember telling you the psychology of people that say things, right? And then they realized they said it, and they said, I'm just messing, right? That kind of a thing. That's sort of how the revenge reads here. And so if somebody does come in and compromise with you, I'm going to shuffle for the reading. And then they say some shit that you're like, huh? And then they say, I was just messing with you. No, they meant it. That's where that revenge lives. See, it's very subtle, all right? But anyway, yeah. I'll go with your horoscopes. Yeah, it's a fair, compromising energy. I think the DF side will have to bend a little more than the DM side, but that's all right, right? We're used to that. Everybody's used to that. Okay, let's see where we go. I'm not even going to bother with the cards before the cut because all that shit happened. So let's just pull a reading. Let's go. How they feel about you. Do a pyramid. It's a full moon reading. Oh, right. How they feel about you is here. How they see you is here. What they think about you is here. And potential final outcome is at the bottom. I see potential because I cannot predict free will. Nobody can. I'll clarify everything. Throw some universe cards at the end. And you bet your sweet asses we're going to extend this. It's a full moon reading. All right. Overall energy of everything that's going to fall on the table. It's a general reading. It may or may not resonate with you. But if the title brought you in here, your family's love tarot, you're here for a reason. This reading is timeless. Whenever you find it, you're meant to find it. I'm not a fucking time lord. Woo, we got big things happening. That's nice. It's nice. I like this full moon. I do. I like it. A fair and balanced resolution with a little dig at the end from the DM. Right? I want you to remember that. I want you to remember it's there. Aren't you glad we made up? Yeah, I'm glad. It's too bad you're such an asshole. What? Nah, I'm just messing. Okay. No, they meant that. They do think you're an asshole and they hate that they had to make up. All right. So keep that in mind here. But I got a Hierophant, the overall image, a Hierophant and the angel. I mean, the Pope walks into a bar with an angel. I mean, and the bartender says, what do you have? I mean, here we go. It's awesome. It's beautiful energy. I love geese. I mean, you want to go one more? The Wheel of Fortune. I mean, it just keeps getting better. I like this. I do. The love geese are in the air. Something long-term here. Somebody's looking for a long-term fix with you. Somebody's looking to turn things around 180 degrees. Let's clarify with the light seer. Let's give it a chance. I don't want to grab the witches. No offense, they've been a little bitchy the last couple of days. So I'm gonna put that right there. Look at that. Look at the little dog. The little golden retriever. I mean, come on. Right? Happy little deck. All right. Let's throw some happy little cards on the table. How do they feel about you? It's one pretty powerful soulmate. They may have been married at some time, or you may have been married to this person. It's just something for a few of you to keep in mind. A Hierophant here with Temperance. I think you might already be married in the 5D, if we could put it that way, or together in the 5D with whoever this is. I don't think this is a friend or family member. This feels much more lovey-dovey. Okay? All right. Let's see where we go. The Four of Pentacles. Fear. How do they feel about you? They're scared shitless of you. Okay? It's more of a miser energy. It's more the way misers fear money. What I mean is they're not scared shitless of the money. They're scared shitless of spending it. It's sort of like if you had $1 million on the dot. $1,000,000. If you spend $1, you're no longer a millionaire. And you like telling people you're a millionaire. But you're a liar if you spend $1. You see what I'm saying? It's a bit of that. So I don't know. Somebody is afraid to even do anything with you, to even say anything, to even whatever. I mean, that's where we're starting out. Okay? I got it. I think my miser analogy should work there. All right. Center card. Six of Pentacles. And look at that. I talk about that. There's the Six of Pentacles. Usually some asshole. In the Witches, it's the asshole with the shirt open, giving the kids with the... What? Do the kids care that you have a hairy chest? Do they? Really? Or do they just want the money? You know, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Somebody's afraid to... What did I say? Rewind. I read the energy first and I throw the cards. They're afraid to give to this. They're afraid to spend any of it. They like the idea that you're there. I'll do the lateral thinking for you. They like the idea that you're there, the way my miser like saying that they're a millionaire. If he spends $1, he's no longer a millionaire, so he's scared to spend anything, so he sits on the money. They like that you're there. They somewhere in the back of their mind, back of their soul, back of their heart, back of their ass, they feel like they're going to fuck this up if they say anything. Okay, I believe it. What's red with the Four of Swords? Or Four of Swords, yeah, Four of Pentacles. Do nothing energy, Four of Swords, Freudian slip, right? Same thing, it applies. You know, the Magician. There's too much karmic debt for them to do nothing here. This person feels like they want to leave things where they are. They like just imagining something about you, okay? It's almost like you have a muse. I'll just give you an example, the way this energy feels. You have a muse, for example, like I don't know, some celebrity you like or something like, or whatever, right? You don't want to research too much about that person. It might ruin the image and the dream that you have of them, right? So you just keep it on a very superficial level. A lot of people do that when they're looking for a muse. If they have to use somebody that's a public figure, you know, an artist or whatever, want to write a song, right, or whatever it is. You don't want to dig too much into that person. You don't want to know too much about that person, right? So it's kind of what this energy is. This person almost doesn't want to know how you feel, because then they're no longer a you millionaire, right? You catch my drift? I mean, I hope so. It's the easiest way I can explain it. I will tell you, me, energy guy, too much karmic debt here for them to do nothing. All right, they're gonna go. They're coming. We already saw it. I couldn't even get through the cut cards trying to make a theme energy without the Eight of Cups reverse flying out. How do they see you? What do they think about you? The Death card. We'll try again, I suppose, but let's hold on. Maybe they see you as... Maybe they're afraid you're not interested. I'm not sure. What else? King of Pentacles. This person has an inferiority complex, whoever they are. You may not, I might be exaggerating. It might not be that bad. But they're insecure. A lot of people are insecure. You know, James Hetfield from Metallica. You know, the singer guy from Metallica. Yeah, the guy who does that kind of shit. He gets nervous every time he goes out on stage. He doesn't think he's good enough to this day. Right? Talks about it publicly. So, you know, I wouldn't say he has an inferiority complex. I like my teeth. So I'm not going to say anything like that. But it's sort of what I would say about this person here. They're a bit like that. They lack some kind of confidence. They're afraid they don't have what it takes to approach you. They look at you and they see fucking 8-point buck with rainbow antlers. You could see this person here. They're a big. This is a big man. Somebody big man, big woman in their mind. But out in the real world, they're probably a little smaller, and I think you take them down a peg. This is very common in this soulmate cycle. Nothing new. Shouldn't surprise anybody. But I do pick up somebody here who has an inferiority complex. Why did that miser? Why not spend the dollar? Why do they like telling people they're a millionaire so much? Why does that matter? Right? Why? We live in a society where people do that all the time. They got to impress people with this stuff. They buy stuff they can't even afford just so people think they got money. There's something about you that makes them feel good about themselves, and they're afraid that by talking to you, it will go away. They definitely crave attention. I think that's their karmic debt. I think that's the problem here. What's the potential final outcome for you? It's red with the Six of Pentacles, the Emperor. Yeah, somebody's showing up. Somebody's going to pull up their big boy, big girl pants and show up. You know, I don't know. It's really weird. Okay. All right, we're going to clarify. Let's. I think you're going to have to be the bigger person here on some level. I'm not sure. But it ties with the Emperor coming out in the final outcome. It ties to what I said at the beginning when I started to talk about revenge. Right? I started to talk about it's relative. In other words, and I gave the example even, this is a person who thinks they're big. You make them feel small, so their revenge is to come in and try to look like this. So this could be the old somebody trying to impress you, but I don't think so. I don't know. Let's see how it plays out. Either way, it looks like it ends with them showing up in front of you. So if that's something you want, all right, cool. Let's talk about the Six of Pentacles. Let's go. These are red, center, left, right. So let's pull it that way, all right? All right, Six of Pentacles. Why is it here? It's crossed by a Strength card. It's taking, I don't want to say it's taking a lot, but I'm reading it with the final outcome. I have to read it with the Six of Pentacles. I don't think they have the strength to do this. Let's see what's on top here. The Lovers. Oof, there's a lot of desire here. There's a lot of lust. I was going to say there's a lot of lust, but I see it. I see the desire. I feel it. Why is that here, though? Yeah, the King of Wands. Yeah, again, the ego. I don't think this person's going to share anything with... what's the bridge? Yeah, the Three of Swords. This person's still too afraid of getting... You can't go into a love... This is a love situation for sure. You can't go into it afraid of getting hurt. You can't do that. All right? You can't. You have to have confidence. This person doesn't have it. They lack that. In the back of their mind, they're going to get hurt, so they're going to puff themselves up. Now, again, don't be surprised because for everything they have to say to you to be vulnerable for everything they have to say to you to compromise, they're going to do something in an equal and opposite reaction, in the opposite direction, and then say, nah, just kidding. So, in an extreme example, for every time they have to say, I love you, they're going to say, I hate you, and then say, nah, just kidding, in some capacity. It's sort of what you're dealing with because they have a great fear. It's a huge fear of getting hurt. Right? See where we're at here. Four of Pentacles. Why is that here? Tell me about this fear. Tell me about it. Four of Pentacles. Come on. Give me something. It's crossed by the Eight of Wands. It's forward movement. The environmental energy says give to this. Well, it does because this is red with this. And I said there's too much. I said energy-wise there's too much karmic debt for them not to give to this. Okay, so yeah. They're going to speak, but they're afraid. So for every time they tell you they love you, oh, I love you, baby, right? I hate you. I'm just kidding. No, I love you. I fucking hate you. Look, I'm just kidding. Right? It's a whole bunch of that. That's all that this reads here. What's on top? Hey, so see what I'm saying? They don't know if they should. I mean, I called this already. I've already read it. Why is that here? The devil. Yeah. Again, somebody's own propensity to just. I don't think they have the confidence. I think this person portrays themselves as someone who seems like they're very confident. I don't think they are. That's why I gave you the James Hetfield example. You would think a guy from a band that popular who's done thousands of shows, sold millions of records, wouldn't give a fuck about going out on stage. But every time he doesn't feel like he's good enough. That's this energy here, this person. And so they puff themselves up. Exactly. I don't know. It's just why. That's probably why they got so much karmic debt here. Tell me about this karmic debt. Tell me about that. Tell me about the magician. Why is that here? Let's get that out of there. Tell me about the magician. Nine Swords. They feel like they've let you down. I don't think they have. You might argue with me. Well, Steve, they ran from. I know, I get you, but I don't think they let you down as much as they've let themselves down. They got it backwards. Their karmic debt is from letting themselves down, not you. They may have let you down. They feel like they have. That's my first call on that. But the karmic debt energy here with the magician, what they need to work past, what they now have all the tools to work past is them letting themselves down. They chicken out a lot. Can I put it that way? It's probably why they ran from you. This doesn't feel like a family member or a friend. It can be, okay? I'm not perfect. But this feels much. This feels very runnery to me. And it could be future influence. We've talked a lot lately about economy of energy. This could be something that happens for you. You might be in your 40s right now. This could be something that happens for you in your mid-60s. I can't control that, all right? You'll know somebody, and now you'll understand the psychology of somebody like this. What's on top? But for most of you, this is probably a runner. The Two of Wands. Yeah, they let themselves down. They feel like they're always thinking about doing this. I'm tired of thinking about doing it. I'm tired of pacing the kitchen. Why is that here? And then I don't. Right? It's what I said. Come on. I read the energy first. Look what happened. I feel like they feel like I'm all. This is them talking. I feel like I'm always planning to go see Steve's viewer, and then I don't. And I'm just so disappointed. I'm disappointing Steve's viewer. That's where they're sending it. Why? Because that boosts their ego. They can't say I'm disappointing myself. I'm letting myself down. And then I let Steve's viewer down. You're not letting Steve's viewer down. You are. But the karmic debt they're racking up is their own. Steve's viewer is fucking fine. Right? For the most part, anyway. Maybe a little annoyed with this fucking person. Death card. Why is it here? Tell me about the death card. These cards have fallen perfectly. I called the whole thing right at the beginning. Right around my miser example in the Four of Pentacles. It is. This is a very common people are like this. A lot of people are like this. This energy. This guy, the Burger King's always got to be doing you a favor, right? That's why I say they're like birds. That's why I can totally relate to this soulmate cycle. Birds that always if you're going to train a bird, it always has to be their idea. That's all you got to remember. The death card. So they got to make it seem like it's their idea. They're doing you a favor by coming in. Well, I'm tired of disappointing Steve's viewer. That's not where the karmic debt lives. The death card is crossed by the Knight of Pentacles. They're afraid, they think you think too much time has passed and this thing has got cobwebs on it. This connection's got cobwebs on it. It's done. It's a pick clean buzzer. Okay? Too much time has passed. They dilly-dally. That's what they think you think. Okay? This is more 3D energy here. What's on top? The Strength card. Can I say this? They think I'll say two things. Take which one resonates, but for most of you, it'll be both. One, they think they're in your spank bank. Okay? That's what they think. This person thinks at night that every time they get a little bit horny that you're thinking about them, and that's why. Okay? That might apply. That won't apply to all of you, but a good enough. If you chuckled, it's probably for you. All right? If you went, oh no, oh gosh, what did he just say? Probably isn't. All right? But the strength card, this person feels like you're in the power position if they show up, and that makes them nervous. Which is, again, they're going to solve that problem by taking digs at you. It's compromise. It's fairness with a little band of revenge through it. I'm glad we could reach an agreement. Ooh, your hand is icky. Nah, just kidding. You know, that kind of a thing. This energy does that all the fucking time. They got to take a dig at you if you get them for something. If you get them to do something. If you got them to compromise. They got to take a dig. They got to win. They got to have the last word. Right? Why is that? They feel like you're in a power position, and that's why they're reacting that way. All right? The death card on top. That's a death card. That's the strength card. The only thing I need to read. I've already read it. It's a feedback loop. It's the death card. That's what's there. That seals it up. All right? This is something that they think about round and round and round and round. All right. People like this crack me up, I'll tell you. All right, here we go. King of Pentacles, why is it here? Whoa, flying out of the deck. Six of Swords. It's crossed by the Four of Wands. Why is that here? The Chariot. They're not sure. Yeah, they think you'll. They again back on a lot of time has passed. They think you think that this thing's covered in cobwebs. I think they may think that somebody else has snatched you up by now, or somebody, or. Okay, they either think somebody else has snatched you up because the world is here. It's very important. I think they either think somebody has snatched you up by now. So again, it's a way for them to back out of it maybe, or give them the option. Or they think, why hasn't, if Steve's viewer is so great, why hasn't somebody snatched them up? So maybe Steve's viewer is not that great. I think that's the energy for most of you. That's the hardest to read, so it's probably for most of you. And it would explain this behavior over here. Okay? So again, it's their way of, before they even get there, diminishing you so that they can feel like the little big man. All right, the Emperor, why is it here? Let's go. Tell me about the Emperor. Final outcome from my viewers. Crossed by the King of Swords. Okay? Well, it feels like we're working out a deal here. All right? It feels like we're sitting at the table with the King of Swords. All right? There's a lot of truths being told. You don't have a problem with that. It's making this person nervous. All right? What's on top? The Knight of Pentacles. That would be technically read with the Lovers. Why is that here? The Six of Wands. It's just sort of, again, you have communication coming from. I'm not going to give you the surface read because it's just, they regret it, they're turning around and coming back. Okay, we already know that. The Eight of Cups came out reversed in the very beginning of this thing. I'm going to give you a piece of advice here. I'm going to first pull the bridge. Yep, there's the World. I'm going to pull the bridge here. I want you to work this a little bit. This person is severely attracted to you on a high level. All right, I want you to work that a little bit. A little bit. I want you to just sort of stay on. You don't have to do anything. Eye contact, body language will speak volumes here. You don't have to, really, honestly, you just have to be there. All you have to do to win is show up in the conversation. All right? It's just the advice I'll give you. You do have communication coming here. All right? This person's biggest fear is the Three of Swords. So if you want to lose, if you want this Six of Wands to be reversed, and you want to lose this thing, run the Three Swords through them. You know, give them hell. But if I were you, I'd be the sitting king. This person will talk their way right into a victory for you. You don't even have to say much. They're attracted to you. It doesn't matter. Right? Just sit there and look pretty, male or female. Right? And watch their behavior. It'll be very telling. It'll tell you what level of how many times they say, nah, just mess it. That kind of a thing. Will tell you how low a vibration they are and who you're dealing with, for sure. All right, let's see what else the universe wants to tell you. Very interesting. Interesting read here. I got a devil to pull on, man. This person's got some issues. I'll tell you. You know, they also, if I could say, they feel like you cancel on them or you disappeared on them for a few of you. I just have to say it because it's one of the energies. Energy's always in layers. I give you the thickest layers, but there's a thinner, medium-sized layer here for a few of you. They feel like you ditched them. Did you? Did you just disappear one day from, I don't know, from social media or whatever? I mean, it's a little hard to do from a town. It's a little easier to disappear from like Twitter or some shit. I don't know. I'm just putting that out there. All right? It eats at them. It eats at them like crazy. All right. Anyway, 3 cards from the bottom and a crossing card. What do we get? Talk to me. What else you want to tell my people before I go pull some wicked voodoo on this? Let's see where we're at. Page of Wands, the Fool. There it is. It had to come out once. You know it did. You know if justice didn't come out, this whole reading. I was like, whoa, Steve talked about justice at the beginning. Yeah, he did. And it's immature justice. It's what I said. The universe is just giving. I've already called all of this. It's perfect. It's the Ace of Wands crossing the Fool. You've got a opportunity here. This moon energy, probably within a couple of weeks of it, it'll dissipate out a little bit. It could stretch out as far as 6 weeks as far as the likelihood of what I've given you here playing out. But it happens when you least expect it. Somebody, you get a chance to move forward with somebody. And it all seems very good, but it's immature justice. A little bit. It's fruitful, but it's immature. It's the little, just messing. It's what I've told you already. So just pay attention to that. I'm telling you that so you don't let it bother you. People do it all the time. All right? It's a sign of insecurity. People don't like to be vulnerable. It's just the way it is. How often they do it, well, that's telling. But again, somebody's coming to get justice. What they don't realize is they're getting justice for themselves, not you or this connection. This person has to prove something. It's not really what's going on, but I'm just going to phrase it this way. This person has to prove something to the fickle old gal universe. All right? Before anything else good will likely happen to them, because it looks like they're going down spiraling down a toilet here until we solve this little bit of karmic debt. You're just getting the information so you know that there might be some digs in it. It is fair, it is compromise, but it's a little childish at times. All right? That's your reading. I hope it was helpful. If you want the extended, there's a couple of links at the top of the description. I want it. I got a devil. I'll pull on you for the moon outside of this person, okay? And we'll see what's going on here. We'll see this came out twice. They're very lusty for you. Very attracted to you. Work that, all right? We'll pull on that. We'll see. That's your reading. Good luck.